Hi guys, FrostFangs here, back again with another video and apparently a different intro than usual. Going to be talking a bit about the upcoming update, which should be probably shown off tomorrow. I'm recording this video early on a Tuesday. Update show is tomorrow, Wednesday the 13th. Going to be more of a discussion video, but I'm also going to be playing Betty in the background, sort of as I talk a bit. As usual, we don't really know what's in the update aside from the new character that they posted a bit on social media. There have been a few leaks, but I'm not going to cover those in this video because I don't know if they're accurate or not. But the leaked name for the character is Lillith, which just reminds me of Darkstalkers and fits sort of the vampire blood theme that they're going for with her. I think she's going to be a support, just as a guess, but I don't actually know. She could be a flanker, to be honest. Very similar to Cassie. It appears that she has some sort of companion, like a box with sort of her face on it with like a heart inside, or not really her face, but like a mask. Don't really know how to describe these things. I don't have the images right in front of me. I'm looking at Paladins right now. But yeah, I don't know what class she's going to be. She just reminds me a lot of Vora, as always, but specifically for this video. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments what your thoughts are on the new supposed Lillith champion, and also what you think is going to be in the update balance-wise. I'm assuming they'll tune some stuff with Betty, but other than that, I don't really have any guesses, which leaves me sort of excited to see maybe if there'll be any massive buffs in here. I don't think it will be a giga huge update like some of the ones we've had in the past, so I probably won't do a patch overview and I'll just cover the new character when she's in the PTS. Just going to start up an onslaught in the background because I get asked quite a bit what my setup is for Betty, if it's still as it was a couple weeks ago, and yeah, as far as I know, it's pretty much the exact same. I actually removed the one with the right-click reset and just run these two now. Don't think I really need anything else for Betty, but one thing I do want to show you real quick with Betty is just saying I was going to make a separate video on and then change my mind. I think I'm just going to throw it in to this one. But Betty's F works in a way that isn't actually described anywhere in game, and I haven't heard anybody talk about this, so I really feel like I should cover it in a video, because what I do a lot of the time when there's a new character, I just sit in the target practice and mess around to see how stuff works, and this was something that I thought was really weird and I think more people should know about, especially those of you guys that play a lot of Betty. You probably noticed it but didn't know for sure if you're imagining it or not unless you went ahead and tested it. But let me just show you what I mean. This is quite hard for me to put into words, so I'm going to show you it instead of just trying to talk about it. But essentially what I'm trying to display here is that Betty's F changes depending on which way you're looking. If you're looking straight up, you go further up than if you're looking down or directly forward. It seems to change for whatever reason. Again, this isn't mentioned anywhere, but it works like this. The easiest way I can show you is if I just stand here and I look directly up and I pop the F. You see we don't go as far side to side, but we go really, really high up. We go above like the halfway, whereas if I look directly down, you'll see we go way further forward and more side to side, but instead we don't go as high upwards. So if I look down, you'll see we're getting way more further forward, but nowhere near high enough to even clear that. Whereas if I do it looking up, again, we can do that really quite easily. I don't really know properly how to describe what I'm trying to get across to you here, but if I'm trying to get across this gap, for example, and I look downwards, you'll see we go really far forward. I'm not even holding W, I'm just tapping the F key, and then if I stand here, I look upwards, you'll see we're not even going to make it like halfway, which is going to go straight up. So hopefully that was a good demonstration of what I'm trying to show you. It seems that looking down is very similar to looking just straight. Like if we do the F like that and I look downwards, you'll see it's very similar, but for some reason it seems like from the middle area upwards, depending on how much you tilt, you go further up and you lose less horizontal movement. So if I look directly down here, you'll see still getting a lot of force in that direction, maybe even slightly more than if it was even. It is actually really useful to know in game if you're aware that it exists, because if you want to actually stay above somebody, you can sort of pop the F upwards if you don't need the horizontal movement and fire down easier. And if you were trying to get away, you might want to look a little bit further down instead of upwards to get more sort of push in the direction you're trying to run. Hopefully that made sense. Let's jump into a match. Enough yapping, and let's go back to what the video is going to be. I'm also really looking forward to the skins in the next update. As far as I'm aware, at least to me right now, they're a mystery. They haven't shown anything on social media, and if they did, I missed it, but we pretty much always get at least one or two, maybe even three. But yeah, for Game 1, we're on some Marauder support. We've got an Ash, a Ceres, a Lex, and a Dredge, and for this, a Tiberius, a Strix, a Maeve, a Ceres, and a Khan. It's going to go for the super standard Betty setup here, and then Kronos to start. Probably should have grabbed Death Rounds, but that's fine. We've got Death Hastens, Fortress Breaker, Soul Collector, Hurl, Leon Shield, Mortal Reach, Catburglar, the Nocturnal, and Tigran's Fury. Let's run into round one. Like I said, I really am looking forward to this next update. I have no idea what it's going to be aside from the new character. I'm really hoping we get maps sometime soon, because I feel like it's been forever since we've got like an entirely new map instead of just a rework. It's been a thing that I've been wanting to see for quite a while. Just going to jiggle around on top of the Khan here. Also, a thing that I haven't really talked about in a video, or at least for a really long time, is top play. I kind of miss top play a little bit. I don't feel like it really needs to be in Paladins. It's just one of those things that I thought was a bit of an extra and I kind of liked, but the implementation was kind of janky. It didn't really work very well, and I feel like I more so like the idea of there being a top play more than the way that it actually worked when it was implemented, because it was pretty jank, and I thought at the time it was just sort of a waste of like 15-20 seconds at the end of a match and made certain games feel like they really dragged on. Yeah, definitely one of those things I'd like to hear from you guys on, if you'd like to see top play come back, or maybe you're so new that it was never a thing for you. But top play, I think, if implemented well, could add a lot to Paladins, and I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest, but I personally would like to see it. Definitely a bit weird though, because if I remember correctly, the whole reason they removed it, and it has been a couple of years, so if this is incorrect, feel free to correct me, but I thought they removed it because it was a lot of work, right? It was like a lot of upkeep and a lot of, you know, effort for something that wasn't even necessarily working correctly. It just seems kind of weird to me, because then they go ahead and do something like Siege Beyond, which was something that nobody was really asking for, and at the moment at least seems like sort of wasted work. That's kind of not really the right way to describe it, but yeah, Siege Beyond could be something really cool, same as the top play. Hopefully I was able to edit that into something that made sense. I feel like my explanation there was kind of ass. Top play, I think, is a very, very different thing to something like Siege Beyond, so it doesn't really make that much sense to compare them. Talking about game features and stuff whilst trying to play Betty, like jumping around my F a ton is quite difficult. Ceres there with a pretty nice pull, although somehow the Strix didn't die there. We'll just run over this way. Looks like she got the ult on the Maeve there. We'll just jump the Ceres. That was very, very rude. I'm literally right at their spawn. We get a turbo reload in. I'm not full health, so I'm going to play kind of safe. The F is so busted. Jesus Christ, it's not even close to what I wanted to do. Am I dead? We can F and hopefully get away. Do a little juke, throw the Q, right click. Hello, Khan. What is happening? Let's just get away up this way. Hello, Tiberius. I feel like I've got ghost ammo right now. My weapon isn't firing half the time, just as I'm talking about things being broken. How freaking well timed. I mean, I've made entire videos about it already, so I'm not going to talk about too much here, but Siege Beyond really confused me. I was surprised that was something that honestly got put into the game and implemented in such a weird way, at least right now, and was even something that they were changing, considering people were complaining about a million other things except for the item shop. Most people thought things aside from Cauterize in the item shop, you know, were fine. I'm dead here, but got some good damage off. I mean, payload is another thing very similar to like top play, but that's not something I'm going to talk about really in this video. I'm just looking forward to the next update as usual. I'm going to be on the live show watching it as it comes out, and then I'll be covering all the new stuff. So make sure you're staying tuned to the channel. You know, you got your notifications on all that other, you know, generic YouTuber crap. Yeah, just do whatever you fancy. I appreciate you guys tuning in to watch this stuff, of course, whenever I put it out. The comments getting pushed off. We have lost this, by the way, but I feel like I've at least been doing okay on Betty, considering I didn't warm up for this whatsoever. Go ahead and pop the ult just to send off the game. We're at 399. Throw it right there on the point in the middle. There we go. What a way to end it. That was a pretty rough game, although I didn't do too bad on Betty. I could have done way better. 10-7-84k. There are the stats. I'm not going to go through them. Tiberius on their side. Hyper carried though, that's for sure. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here. One last thing. I suppose that's more of a hope than a guess, because I don't feel like they're going to buff Vatu, but I would like to see Vatu get some sort of buff or change, or just something relatively large, because Vatu's play rate is abysmal. Pretty much I never see him in a game. I feel like I play against or with a Vatu like 1 out of every 20 matches or something crazy. Similar to a character like Charlene, who I feel like is kind of rare, but Charlene balance-wise does feel pretty strong. I feel like Vatu is really just not picked because he doesn't do very well a lot of the time. Someone like Leanne, for example, I do see quite a bit less, but that's just because of the nerfs. She's still, I think, fine meta-wise, maybe a little bit under where she could be, but she's not massively underpowered or anything. For the flankers, it's completely different. Talus I don't see very often. Seven is also weirdly sort of rare these days. Eevee I don't see really at all. Same thing with Vora and Vadu, like I was sort of saying, and Moji has been off the map of the meta for like a really, really long time. I see pretty much all the tanks. Tanks are surprisingly popular, except for maybe Torvald and Yag a tiny bit. Then for the supports, I see pretty much all the supports, which is good, I suppose. It is a bit of a support tank meta at the moment. Supports you see relatively often, which is good, because a game where it was all just damages and flanks would kind of suck. Ceres is definitely the most popular though, by like a long shot. Damber is also probably the most rare. The whole reason I went through that is because if you were to ask me what I think is going to be in the update, it would be based on that sort of play rate. I don't really have any access to win rate or actual play rate, but just on my guess would be based on what I just said. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you staying all the way till the end. If you want to see me do more of these sort of discussion videos instead of the gameplay focused stuff, let me know by dropping a comment and a like. I'll be down there in the comments with you guys, and at least reading most of them, as many as I can. Thank you so much for watching once again. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you guys all really, really soon, and as always, stay frosty.